Welcome back, third graders. Welcome back, my other friends. We're going to continue reading from Tomorrow Girls Behind the Gates, and we have 2 chapters left. So the last chapter we finished, the girls were in the meeting with Mrs. Brewster, and Maddie was taken away to isolation quarters, and now Louise is thinking, like, if she gets in trouble, I'm in trouble, and we're both going to be sent back. Chapter 15. Not knowing what else to do, I hurried back towards my room. What a disaster this whole day has been. First Rosie and everything. Then Evelyn goes missing. Now Maddie's being held as a prisoner in some isolation quarter. I discover that being torn from my best friend, who really has become more like a sister, right down to how annoying she can be sometimes, is the most devastating loss of all. I entered our dorm, desperately needing someone to talk to. Is Evelyn here? I asked Rosie, whom I found sitting at the table reading by a lamplight. How would I know? Rosie answered in an annoyed voice, not even glancing up from her book. I head straight for my room and I find my locket in my top drawer, clicking it open. I gaze down at the photos of my parents. Mom? Dad? What should I do? I whisper. We're in big trouble, and I wish I could talk to you about it. Closing it, I put the locket around my neck and I hold it against my heart. Just for tonight, I need to wear it. Talking to yourself again? Rosie snipes when I return to the living room. Her cold tone is just the last straw. I'm unable to stand her icy disregard anymore. It's more than I can take. Feeling overwhelmed, I collapse to my knees in tears. Rosie looks up from her homework in alarm and immediately is at my side. Louisa, what is it? What happened? It's Maddie. We... My voice trails off. I have a dilemma now, and how do I tell Rosie? Should I trust her? Is it safe to even confide in her? I felt so close to her this last week, but then she betrayed our friendship. Or has she? Is this just a disagreement that maybe will just blow over? Is it really just a huge rift that just what it seems to be right now? Deciding I can't take the chance, I chose not to go into the whole story. There's something wrong with her bracelet, I say, opting for half of the truth. They don't believe us, and it's just a mistake, and Mrs. Brewster, they put Maddie in this isolation quarter somewhere. What kind of something is wrong? Rosie asked. Her bracelet says that she's someone else. Because she is someone else, Rosie stated evenly. Looking up sharply, my jaw drops in shock at her words. I now was searching her face. Is she testing me, or does she really know this for sure? Why do you say that? I ask. She's not a thing like you, and you most certainly are not twins, not fraternal or otherwise. Fraternal twins are more like sisters than twins, I argue. You don't have the body language of sisters, especially not sisters that are close in age, Rosie insisted calmly. Sisters melt into each other. They sit back to back, shoulder to shoulder. They borrow each other's clothing without asking. You and Maddie, yeah, you are super close. Anyone can see that. But you two are not sisters. Should I now insist that she's wrong? Somehow I don't want to lie to her anymore. And anyway, she's already kind of figured it out. You're right, I admit. It was a trick to get Maddie here into the school. We weren't hurting anyone. I'm surprised and now relieved when Rosie wraps me in a hug. Our feud is instantly now forgotten. Well, now we need to figure out what to do, Rosie says as she released me from her embrace. We could do just nothing, I suggest. This could just maybe all blow over, and Mrs. Brewster, she just might forget about it. No, Rosie disagrees, shaking her head. I don't think Mrs. Brewster is a forget about it kind of person. Sighing, I knew she was right. We sat in silence, each of us trying to come up with a plan and failing. The scratch of a key turning the door made us both jump, but to my relief, Evelyn walked in, waving a flashlight around in our dim light room. Where have you been? I cried, getting to my feet. Making light out checks, she replied, as if I should have known this. All this time? I questioned, a sheepish kind of secretive expression then crying across her face. You weren't here before dinner, I added, and you didn't wake us up like you promised. Evelyn snapped her fingers. Sorry about that. I knew there was something I forgot. I just somehow got involved in what I was doing. Which was? Rosie prompted. Evelyn stepped in closer to us and lowered her voice. Investigation. Investigating what? The note of irritation was now creeping back into Rosie's voice when Evelyn went on her conspiracy warpath loud and clear. Evelyn then dangled a set of keys. I scored these from the patrol office. There's now no door that I can't get into, but I have to return them before anyone notices that they're gone. Rosie's jaw dropped. You're crazy. You have to put those back right now, she said. Her voice suddenly dropped, and it started to get to a frantic whisper. Do you know what kind of trouble we're going to get in if you get caught with those? I won't, Evelyn promised. First, tell me, why do you two look so upset? What happened? We filled her in on the whole story. We don't know what to do, I moan. And your investigating isn't going to help, Rosie said angrily. We're already in trouble. Well, why don't we go have a look around? Evelyn suggested, once more holding up the set of keys. Right now? I asked. It's now or never, Evelyn replied. Who knows when I'm going to be able to get my hands on these keys again? Evelyn then handed out certain keys to Rosie and me, and so that we, too, can sneak into the main building. We looked at each other, couldn't believe this plan, but Evelyn says that she knows where they might be actually holding Maddie. She might be in a room that was marked discipline in the basement of the main hall. What were you doing in the basement of the main hall? Rosie asked, shocked. Investigating, obviously, Evelyn said. Rosie huffs. What could you possibly be investigating? I want to know what the real deal is going on at this crazy school, Evelyn insisted. You two may think that CMS is a slice of heaven, but something weird is going on. Like what exactly? Rosie countered. You've been saying it's been weird here for weeks, but everything seems to just be fine for the rest of us. Like what school wants you to survive in the forest with no food packed? Who does that? Evelyn argues. Tell me that's not more than just a little weird. It's a life skill, Rosie insisted. It's not a life skill I would need if they didn't make us go out into the woods overnight, Evelyn replied. Let's go find Maddie already, I cry, fed up with their squabbling. I can't come with you. I have to go and finish my rounds, Evelyn says. But you guys, you better get going right now, though, because these keys have to be back by the end of my shift. Okay, I agree. Let's go, Rosie says. And with a satisfying click, the deadbolt lock on the back door of the main building opened. The door creaked ever so slightly when I pushed it open. But to me, the sound might as well have been thunder, because my skin was now crawling with goosebumps and my heart was pounding. This is insane, Rosie whispered as she followed me down into this dark hallway. I was nodding in agreement, but it didn't stop me from moving further into the hallway. Each of us still had a small flashlight from our camping trip. We switched them on and created a little soft circle of soft light glow around us. The building is mostly silent with some kind of big, overwhelming quiet that was kind of unnerving. Every once in a while, though, a pipe was banging as the water heater was turning on and the building was making this creaking, settling noise. When that happened, Rosie and I both jumped. It was hard not to freak out at every little thing. How do we get to the actual basement? Rosie asked in a whisper. I have no idea. We don't have very specific instructions here. Back in the dorm room, I was distracted by my own panic and Evelyn and Rosie's fighting. It made me forget to even ask Evelyn to draw us a map. Well, maybe we need to split up for a little bit. Look separately, I suggest. We can meet back here by this door, say what, half an hour? Okay, Rosie agrees. I'll go to the end of this hallway and see if I can find a stairwell down. As Rosie became a receding spot of light in the darkness, I was scanning my flashlight around. A turn in the hall is revealing as it sounded when I was going around the corner. At once, I froze. I hear something. Noises? Voices. Barely daring to breathe, I follow the sounds. They bring me down to 2 doors. I put my ear up to the door. Something's not right. There seems to be more than one person speaking. There seems to be more people speaking than that could fit into one of these classroom-sized rooms. flashing lights now were coming from underneath the door. Where have I seen this kind of light before? It's very familiar to me. And all of a sudden, I knew what that light was. A television. How can this be? I thought television and radio waves, they didn't reach us here at CMS. Wait until I tell Evelyn this. Huh? Mrs. Brewster is in there. I recognize her voice. She's speaking to other people. I hear Debbie. I hear Emuel. And I hear some of the other teachers. I wonder if this is a meeting for all of the teachers. I know I should get out of here, but my curiosity wins out over my better judgment. So I got onto the floor. I lie flat so I can hear the voices more clearly coming through the door's bottom opening. Quiet, everyone, Mrs. Brewster was saying. The president is about to speak. Quiet, quiet. The room grows silent except for the sounds of the TV. I was now aware of my own heartbeat as I was waiting with the others to hear what he would say. Something tells me that some important event was going to occur in the outside world, something very significant. Ladies and gentlemen, the president began, it is my sad duty to inform you that at 10 o'clock this morning, Canada surrendered to the Alliance. Completely shocked, I clapped my hand over my stunned gasp and that almost escaped my lips. Canada had been a United States ally throughout the whole war. No one ever seriously thought that the Alliance would infiltrate Canada, let alone take it now over. This is terrible news, terrible. But what the president reveals next was even more shocking to me. U.S. intelligence agencies have informed me that they have reports of sleeper cells and training schools planted here in the U.S. These are Alliance outposts that will surely be called to action now that Canada has fallen. Why am I suddenly sick to the pit of my stomach? What I hear now next makes me even sicker. The teachers are applauding and clapping, and some are even cheering. At first, I'm completely confused by this. Shouldn't they be upset? We're right on the Canadian border, after all. We could all be in danger. But then I get it. This is a great day, historic, Mrs. Brewster screams out. It happened so much sooner than we expected. Now we must act quickly. Starting tonight, we will begin the first phase of our plan. If U.S. intelligence is indeed aware of us, we can't spare one moment. I can barely breathe. I'm feeling nauseated. I'm feeling dizzy. CMS is an Alliance training school. I'm in a sleeper cell. Tears were rising in my eyes. Evelyn has been right this entire time. I thought this day would never come, I hear Debbie yell happily. We begin tonight, Mrs. Brewster cried out. Her voice was vibrant with a ton of joy. We will begin by contacting the richest and most powerful people in America and tell them that the Alliance has their spoiled brat children here. And if they don't do as we say, they'll never see their children again. What won't parents do to protect their children? They will do anything, and they will do it for us now that we have their pampered little kids here. This is such a brilliant plan. Long live the Alliance! Whew. That brings us to chapter 16, which is going to be for tomorrow. Oh my goodness. Can you believe what is just happening? They are at a sleeper cell. Mrs. Brewster and all the teachers, they are bad. They're part of the Alliance. Oh my gosh. How I wish we were in school to talk about this now. All right, my friends, I will be on again tomorrow to finish the last chapter of our book. Take care.